Payet just resubscribed for 5 months. Oh yeah.
Hey, there we go. Welcome back to the live stream. My name is Jeff Fritz. Today is Friday, May 31st, right? May 31st, I got there? Yeah, May 31st, 2019, and we're going to write a little code today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, chat room. It's so good to see you. Look at all the folks over here. There's Lannon BR and Carrie Payette. Good to see you. Bonjour. Salut. Great to see you. Guten Morgen, Surly Dev. Creed Games OA. Moin. Moin? Okay, sure. Mike Jim, good afternoon. Good to see you. Rambling Geek. Mike Eaton is here. No, I don't think that's a badum-pish. I don't know. Being surly on a Friday afternoon can empathize? It's Friday afternoon. Come on now. It's almost the weekend. Happiest time of the week, right? A little bit of code today. Oh, yeah, Coding Gorilla. Absolutely.
Devly just resubscribed for 10 months.
10 months!
Friday, thumbs up.
Oh yeah, Epic Friday. Thanks so much for that, and we'll make a donation to Veterans Who Code. I'm still putting together my G Fuel here. Give me a second. I'm going with the Battle Juice again today. This is their pineapple flavor. So I am a big fan of that. I just got that in a case. They had a 2-for-1 deal over the last weekend, so I grabbed some of that. The filter there on my hat is not looking the best. Oh my gosh, I just slapped this on, so I didn't have a chance to tune my chroma key. This is a Vault Tech hat, right, inspired by the Fallout series. Really enjoy the Fallout series. I'm not the best player at it. I'm not great at first-person shooters to start with. But I really enjoy the idea of making crafting and making that just a little bit more of the experience there as you're playing the game, so that you have to create the things you need in order to accomplish the different things. Really interesting. Thank you, Welsh Ronaldo. Lapel mic as well. So that of course, well, I need to have the lapel mic on so that I can do fun things.
Like sounding like Darth Vader.
Or falling into a hole.
Or maybe just auto-tuning.
So there you go. That's, yeah. I have the voice mod application installed, and when it's appropriate, I'll drop into that, but otherwise, it's so much better on this. Yes, oh my, indeed. I need to activate and let some of you folks use some of the sound effects here. maybe we'll take Sunday and do some fun stuff with the Stream Tools project so that we can activate some commands like that. Tell you what, why don't we do this? I'm gonna roll over to this view, to the tight shot here. Last day for May is for Max. The last day that we're going to be working on this. We're going to continue working with Blazor a little bit today, but here's what I'm gonna suggest. If we go over to github.com, /Fritz, fritz.streamtools. Let's open some issues for some of these sound effect commands that might be fun to create, and we can work on them this weekend. So we've already got Fritz needs a G Fuel command. We do. Save the sentiment data for later analysis. That's something that we need to figure out. There's a couple things here that would be really cool to do. Graph on the overlay for the sentiment. That would be really cool to do. I'm going to open an issue here and let you add some comments to it. Viewers need to be able to trigger more sound effects. Some commands, and we can probably do this on Sunday morning. I think this might be good to do over that. There's one of them that we already have. Yes, absolutely. The hat command, I think, is going to be coming up in a little bit, Hugo. Let's open an issue for that in just a second. Some commands that would be fun to add include, oh my, yep. What else? We've already got Scott. Shame, that'd be good. JavaScript, I like that one. This needs to be a thing. We need end then. Always need end then. You know what? I'll leave it there. And let's put a label on this for enhancements. Help wanted if somebody wants to add some of these features. And if you want to add some comments to this, there's the issue. It's out there. You can, as always, get to all of my GitHub projects. I completely forgot. We had the GitHub panel just below the video here on Twitch. You can see the project that we're currently working on. You can click through to the Stream Tools project. You'll see this issue right at the top. Maybe we'll just wrench through this and hammer out a couple of projects, a couple of these features on Sunday morning. We could probably hit a handful of these, maybe knock out a half dozen issues on Sunday. But I wanted to go through and continue our work with Blazor today, so I want to make sure that we spend some time on that. Hey, Rocket Propel. Hey, Rocket Propelled Freeman. Good to see you. Darn Skippy, might it be a thing? Maybe. What is today's project? We're going to continue working with our resource scheduling project. There we go, back over into the code, where we've been, and there's the current error that we need to work through. But we've been building this project so that we can set up and schedule volunteers for a nonprofit organization. The idea is that we have a domain of several different types of objects. We have people who have schedules. A schedule has a list of schedule items. Those are those one-off schedule items, like I've got a doctor appointment on Friday afternoon, or I have an appointment to go see my children's, meet with my children's teacher on Monday morning, that type of thing. Recurring schedules. Every Tuesday and Thursday night is bowling night. So you have a recurring schedule. Then you have schedule exceptions. You know what? I'm going to be out on vacation the second week of June, so remove all of those things from my schedule. That's a schedule exception. So we have those items to define what a schedule is, and last time being, not even 12 hours ago, we were working on the website that will sit in front of these objects. We added, we just lit up the ability to log in, save that data into a Postgres database, and we started adding, we added all the references so that we can manage these objects. We extended our user object so that a user can be a person who has schedules. we'll then start adding the ability for a person to define their availability. Their availability is their schedule without, right? Their availability is what they manage. When are they available to work? The schedule is the combination of their availability and the work they've been assigned. All right, that's where we are. That's where we're going to. Let's get some music playing in the background here. You know what? I feel like playing. Let's go play Orchid. This is music to code by from our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. It's designed, it's scientifically engineered to get you in the groove, to get you focused on whatever the task might be that you're working on, whether it's writing code, doing chores around the house, doing homework, doing yard work. It's that time of year to do a lot of yard work. This music will help get you focused. It'll help make all those other worries kind of fall away so that you aren't thinking about them. It's almost hypnotic. Check it out, Music to Code By. You can find it at mtcb.pwop.com. Drop the exclamation point music command in chat. You can get a link out to them. You can get all 20 songs for less than $40, and each song is 25 minutes long. The same length as a Pomodoro. Start listening to the music. When it's done, take a break. Take 5 minutes, get something to drink, go to the restroom, whatever the case might be, and then jump back in and start listening to the music again. You can also get the app at musictoflowby.com. All right. So that's, thank you, Carrie. Thank you very much for setting that project. See that? That is so cool. I need to have a G Fuel command. I'm not sure, what should the G Fuel command do? Right? We've mentioned this a couple times that we need the G Fuel command. What exactly should it do? Right? Need to work on over here. Did we ever define what it should do? First off, I need to be able to offer like a coupon code for G Fuel. What is G Fuel? Maybe that's not a bad idea too, with a link out to the G Fuel website. But I do need to talk to them and see if I can, at the very least, get a coupon I can offer folks. You know, that might be nice, even if it's as simple as 10% off, just so they see that folks are connecting with us. What is G Fuel? Asked Janescu. Funny you should ask. A gulp sound effect and a text to speech with the flavor of the day. So here's today's G Fuel flavor. This is Battle Juice. Check it out right there. It's actually pineapple is what this is. So G Fuel is typically fruit flavored and sugar free, has about the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee, 150 milligrams, and only 25 calories. So you don't have any kind of crash when you're done drinking it. They make all kinds of neat little shaker cups that you can get if you order from them at the appropriate time of month, or when they're doing a giveaway, you can get a shaker cup for free. For a while I was using the shakers that I found at my local Walmart for like $5. Big deal. But the pineapple is mighty tasty. So that's what I started drinking instead of coffee. I've actually lost some weight since I shifted away from coffee. Probably also has something to do with the exercise program I've been doing, but it's not bad. I really enjoy it. We're at 6,503 followers. Look at it. You can see the number right here as well. If that number gets to 8,000, if we can get another 1,500 followers in here before September 15th, I will dye the beard rainbow for both .NET Conf and TwitchCon. Oh yeah. I'll be walking around Microsoft campus. I'll have Scott Hunter, Miguel Diacaza, and Mads Torgerson as part of .NET Conf, and me with the rainbow beard there as a salute to you, our viewers here on Twitch. Hey, Brave Cobra, good to see you. So I need to, if we can flesh out what the G Fuel command here is, please, friends, you're more than welcome to comment on, create issues here in any of my repositories. Yes, Scott as well. Scott thinks it's hysterical that I dye my beard. He thinks it's too funny. So that's what's happening over here. I think we can take Sunday morning and we could probably hammer out a handful of these things. The graph on the overlay would be really cool to do here. I love that idea from Lennon. But we need to figure that out. You know what? I think I do have the squirrel clip in here now. Come on. Oh no, a squirrel for the stream. Oh no, I haven't seen this. What is this? Is this just the dog? Oh, it's gone. No, wait. What? Where is it? Is it gonna play? Squirrel. Oh yeah, I do have that. Ha! Oh shoot. Can we reopen that? And go back one. Go back again. Keep going. I've added this to my Stream Deck. But let's add a squirrel command to 51? No. Yep, that one. And then that'll be tremendous. I'm going to go back over to 284 here. Needs a squirrel command as well. So please feel free to add comments here. You're more than welcome, as always, to request features. And I do have pull requests sitting on here. Most of these are from Dependabot. Part of me thinks that now that I have it compiling regularly, I can let it merge these without too much of an issue. I have to come back to that. All right, so we're working on this resource management project. And we left off...
You have just resubscribed for 12 months.
Stream Elements, you pronounced that entirely wrong. That's Johan! Thank you, Johan. I appreciate the sub. And we'll make another donation to Veterans Who Code. I need to put... It was a while ago. Yeah. But we have it now. I have the thing. Squirrel! See? There it is. So, yeah, I do want to do something for our year-long subscribers, and I just haven't gotten to it. A couple things have come up in this this year's conference season here in the spring has been a little bit rough on me, but I'm gonna make good on and do something here for our friends that have subscribed for more than a year. All right, so this is where we left off. We were reintegrating features and making the project run properly using adding Blazor server-side Blazor and Blazor components in after the fact to an existing ASP.NET Core project that runs with Razor Pages. Razor Pages was that project model that was introduced with ASP.NET Core 2, meant to be a very page-focused delivery mechanism. For this application, I think that makes it really easy. However, I do want to add that SPA, that single-page application-like experience, by using Blazor components and make that happen server-side, and we're going to start with the availability scheduling. So we started adding that information in. However, what we did run into is when I .NET run this application, right, that's the way that we start and launch applications from the command line here, it's not compiling and starting properly. And what we saw is please add all required services to service collection by calling add signalar. And that's where we left off last time. So I'm just going to hammer through and make sure that we have everything added properly. So let me go to my startup class here. It wants me to add signalar. Is that the command? Right? iService collection add signalar. All right, so here we go. So I did add Razor Pages. You know what? I'm just going to stick it right here. Add. Now I feel shame. What do you mean it's not there? Hang on. Do I need to put that as a separate call out here? Services, add signalar. All right, terrific. Been a year already. Yeah, can you believe it? All right, so I've added that one. Let's go back over here. Try again. And see if it still whines at me. I'm okay with these warnings because I don't want to reference the different versions of things here and chase it around. Oh, we got another error. Look at that. Surprise. Surprise. All right, let's see what this one is. Argument exception. Host is not a valid page name. The page name is relative to the Razor page's root directory that starts with a leading / and does not contain the file extension. /user/edit. So this is inside invoke method configure _host is not a valid page name. Here. Aha. Right. I don't have a _ host page name, and it starts with a /. Okay, so this is where I wanted to have for the identity area, right? I want to have /identity. Let's see if we can tell it /identity. Right. So do I have a host.cshtml here? Is that what I do? Host.cshtml. Sure. Let's start with that. I'm not going to put anything in it. We'll just let this thing run. Look at that sentiment, 99.9. Woo, woo. That's mighty positive there, chat room. Big hand to you. And now wait a sec. I thought I changed that. Did I just not save the file? Oh, I didn't actually put the thing in here. So /areas identity host. Let's see if that works now. Happy geeks, absolutely. It's falling. Well, you just have to say anything. It'll fall when you're at 99.9. There we go. Now we're running. Let's see if it actually starts now. Can I find the fallback endpoint by route value /areas /identity /host? Interesting. Oh wait, I don't need /areas, do I? I've overthought it. Let's get rid of that. Save this. Stop. Try again. Shouting with excitement. I know, right? Visual Studio rocks. It does. Visual Studio is pretty darn sweet. All right, let's try this again. Can I find the fallback endpoint specified by... No. We just did that. Right? I saved that. /identity /host. You make me sad. Come on now. No, I don't want that. I want this. And... that... No. /identity /host. Can I find the fallback endpoint by route values? Can I give it just /host? It can't be that. I mean, really? Maybe? Maybe it's because I'm doing the map fallback to area page. Right? The idea here is only when you're in the identity area do I want it to fall back to this page, because I'm going to have special formatting that I want to apply for that to do the interactions, and we'll do other Blazor stuff on other pages. Over here to Firefox, refresh. No. Okay. Now what? /post, right? It's there. What if I rename that to /host.razor? Will it find that? Right? Am I in a weird... Am I in a weird catch-22 here? Where it's about the... So, it actually said you need the / at the front when it was being used, right? If I scroll up here in the errors that it was reporting, There you go. Host is not a valid page name. A page name is a path relative to the Razor page's root directory that starts with a leading /. So if I refresh that, no, it doesn't like that either. All right. Wait a sec. I thought I went. Yeah. All right. So let me rename this back to .cshtml. Okay. But it was /identity /that. No. Startup is where I was. Right. So when I had it like this. That didn't work either. Where's Ed Charbonneau when you need him? Maybe if we say Blazor 3 times. Can you point to a partial? And does it need to be in the account folder? Well, I want it to be... Well... You might... Maybe you're onto something there. Right. I'm mapping for the area identity. Right? Well, here, look. Can I find the fallback endpoint specified by route values? /identity /_host. So what if I just... Okay. What if I just move it and don't restart it? Right? Well, right, so it's identity _host right here. Because it's under pages. Tell you what, let's do this. When in doubt, bingle it. Bingle? Sure. Map fallback to area page. Let's see if we have somebody who has some documentation about using this. How about Earth maps? Earth maps? No, that's not what I'm looking for here. Image processing method and device, add controllers and add Razor pages. Map fallback to area page. This is a commit. Maybe we'll see a comment on this. Oh, yellow pages. No. These are new style for configuring MVC and services. We're adding these to make things feel a bit more tailored to those particular scenarios. Blah, 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 blah. Add controllers. Add MVC, add controllers. Come on now. It's kind of cool being able to search through this. DuckDuckGo it. Yeah. Maybe I need Mars maps instead. I see what you did there, Johan. Let's see what you're suggesting. It's not... Might not be too far off. No, it's not in there. Routing to controller actions. Interesting, then a Google patent for image processing comes up for map fallback to area page. You know what I mean? Path of Exile. Why the heck is that coming up? Go home, DuckDuckGo. You're drunk. It's not going to be in this one. It's not going to be there. All right. Let's see if the Google has anything. GitHub source. GitHub, where software is built. That's a commit to somebody's. No, it's somebody's GitHub there. Yeah. Blazor. How's it going, Ancient Coder? No, actually, we're using one of the new features of ASP.NET Core that hasn't been released yet. So that's why we're kind of somewhere new. But map fallback to area page will match for non-file names with the lowest possible priority. This request will be routed to a page endpoint that matches page and area. Is to handle cases where the URL path of the request does not contain a file name and no other endpoint is matched. This is convenient for routing requests for dynamic content to a SPA framework while also allowing requests for non-existent files to result in an HTTP 404. Okay. Registers an endpoint using the pattern star path no file. The order of the register endpoint will be int.max value. So this is automatically added to the end of the route table. Makes sense. This way, if it finds a file first, it'll go to there, and if it matches nothing else, then it'll do this fallback. Map fallback to area page does not re-execute routing and will not generate route values based on routes defined elsewhere. When using this overload, the path route value will be available. Okay, so if I change this to just /host, right? So this is for the area identity. If it can't find anything, it should go to /host. And /_host is right there. So... right? That should work. Dark meaning without docs. Yeah. Only because it hasn't been written yet, you know? Yeah, see, it doesn't like that. And I need the /, you know? Let's go. Oh, wait a sec. I removed the /. Don't tell me that's going to work. Don't tell me that's going to work. I didn't think so. Did I save it? I didn't save it. Try that again. There we go. Come on now. Nope, doesn't like it. Page name is path relative to the Razor page's root directory that starts with a leading /. Okay. What if... So, what if, down here in pages, what if I added a new folder? This is going to be really weird, and it feels like a bug. This feels like a bug. What if I did that? Yes! I want to move... Why do you think I moved it? You turkey. Alright, so there it is over there. And if I put a / identity like that, will it find that? Let's see. .NET Run. Does it show upside down? All right. There we go. Okay, so that booted. Back to the browser. Yeah. Can't find the fallback endpoint specified by route values. Okay. So let's kill this. I should really... I'm going to .NET Watch run on this. So that as I'm changing it, it automatically restarts it, and I don't have to keep coming back over here and moving that thing around. Because that feels like a pain in the neck. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying there, friend? I'm going to change this. Let's just make sure it flat out works. You know what I'm saying? So we'll move this over here so it's on the root. So it's just /host CSHTML. Alright. Save that file. This should be restarting. See, it's already restarting. Yep. But then again, maybe we're also finding a bug here that hasn't been shared yet. Right? No. How can you not find that? Wait a sec. Is it because I don't have... What? Don't I need something like that? At the top of my Razor pages? Blazor routing, right? At the top of a page. Right? Something like that. Right? Is that what I'm missing? And see, it doesn't restart when you change a Blazor page. But maybe it'll find it this time. Hang on. I don't think .NET Watch restarts on a CSHTML change. Mush XD asks, what's my mic? This is the Audio-Technica AT2020, right? Yeah, that's what it says there. And I have it hooked into a Mackie Pro FX 8 mixer. And it makes me sound wonderful. No, doesn't find that either. Okay. So, I mean, let's really get simple here. Map fallback to page. See if we can just get this to work. We have a new follower, Mush. Thanks so much for the follow. And we've already seen you in the chat room. Welcome. It's great to see you. I have a blog post that talks about my audio configuration on my website. If you go to live.jeffreyfritz.com, there's a link to my website just below the video here. You'll see more about my configuration. Don't tell me that works. Look at that. 100%. Love it. And back, well, yeah, right, it's an average over time. So, hey, Tommy K9991, the other 9,990 Tommies. They were all kicked to the wayside. And we've got Tommy K9991. Okay, so that worked. The map fallback to page for /host. And we've got host sitting here. If we look at the pages that are in the identity area up here, right? And if we look at the index, it just says at page. So what if I change host? What if I just do that? Will that still load and still work? That's okay. That looks like it's still doing something. So now let me try moving it now up to there, because like I said, this is going to be specific to this area. So if I refresh, does that still work? I don't think it's actually doing anything under the scenes. So I'm just gonna restart. See what happens. Look at the hype from Ancient Coder. Oh yeah, love the hype. What do you think, chat room? Am I doing the right thing here? That I want to have a host specific to my my profile management area? I think I am. Okay, so it's moved. It's no longer there. That makes sense, right? Let me tell it to .NET Watch Run, because I'm going to go over here. I now have page sitting here under identity. So if I go back into startup, and let's change this. That was my control key, and it was the wrong key. Right? Oh, come on. Tell me about the property. What the heck? What do you mean? Map fallback to area page. What do you mean you don't have that? Thank you. Page is _ host. Area is the area name, and the area name is identity. Let's see if that works now. That should be rebuilding. There it is, rebuilding, because I'm using the watch command. You like separating identity from the rest of the app? Yeah, I think so. I had page at the end twice. Ah, thank you, Copper Beardy. Pair programming at its best. Now let's see if it finds it. That worked. Okay. All right. Maybe it was because I just didn't have that underscore, that at page there. All right. And I feel like I can import the layout. Well, this should be bringing in the layout, right? Because I have the view import, view start. That'll set the layout so I get the default layout. And I'll bring in the features. Right, I'll bring in the features over here. Let me get that. No, hang on. Manage nav pages. Yeah. Index, manage nav. I think this is what we want. Yeah, I want to bring in some of these. So now we learned that a page directive is needed to be found. We did learn that, Stealthy. That's a good point. You need that at page in order for it to find those and process properly. All right. Interesting. Okay. So I think if I'm going to include the managed navigation and some of these other things here inside of my host page so that it looks and feels like this, except it'll call out and do that render for the components. Right, this is the index for managing your profile, right? Username, email, phone number. We're going to use... Where's the manage nav get included? Right, it's view start, and view start says pages shared layout. Pages... I thought there was... Isn't there a shared in here? No. Okay, so that's saying go use the outside layout. Where is the layout that's being added to? Right? So there's a row with the username. And that's it. Validation scripts partial. So this is being included inside of something else. Right? Lewis Hendricks, super late. Is auth working now? Yes, it is. Yep. And we're trying to figure out exactly where we're going to drop in the call out to our Razor components, our Blazor components. I'll get that naming straight before it gets released, I promise. Yeah, thank you. Right, so it's not clear to me. Right, and that's the page model that goes with this, so I'm okay with that. This is all the navigation page information. This feels weird. It does. So it's... Alright, hang on. If we look over here at the layout, that's the top nav bar. There's the login partial. Home, privacy policy, cookie consent, render body, and then the bottom. When we look at the page, and we're inside, right, your profile management area, here. So the navigation bar is fine across the top. Manage your account, change your account settings. There's my availability. This is what'll jump off. And we need it's not going to the right address. You can't see it behind me, but it's trying to go to account manage. It's not routing yet where it needs to. We'll fix that. But how is this page being assembled? Where is that left column coming in at? Let me go back to the index over here. Partial for the status message. So there's the profile form, and then it's got this 6 column here. There are only 2 hard naming things and finding views, right? If you wear your jacket, you'll remember to call it Blazor. I know. Oh, I know. Yeah, it's not. It's got to be hiding somewhere else outside of this, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Let me go back to the managed nav. Let's see if we can fix that. We have availability nav class, view context, ID, right? Availability, ASP page, ./availability. Well, that doesn't exist yet. And part of me thinks we should, yeah, that'll go in the current folder looking for a page called availability. All right. Come here, you. So let's add a new file. Availability CSHTML. And let's just decorate this with at page. Does that just clear up that immediately here? Availability. No, account manage it's still trying to get to. But I don't think it's right. I think it caches the CSHTML, the razor, and doesn't recalculate it. Let me see here. What do we got? What do we got? Okay, let's look at this. Refresh this page and see if we can get that availability link going appropriately. Loading. Loading. There we go. Account manage availability. That's where it's trying to go to. There's nothing here yet, but it's got the thing highlighted appropriately. And okay. I think we're here. That's what classic VB's option base value directive was fun for. Yes, it was. Oh yeah. Option base and option explicit. Oh man. You weren't kidding. Let me see here. You know what? I may end shortly here. I may have a meeting coming up in just a few minutes that I need to sneak off to. Let's see. Then I'll probably come back later today, I think. All right, so I've got the availability page loading, even though there's nothing in it. Maybe I just make this. Maybe I just make this do the thing. As much as people knock on VB, how many people write JavaScript with use strict? Yes, I know, right? The features of Visual Basic are strong, and they're getting into JavaScript. Hey, I hit the button. And they're innovative new features. 100%! That's some very positive chat room there. Thank you so much. It's very cool to have a 100% positive chat room. Clip it! Right? I don't have a clip. I'm not sure how that would fire, what that would do. Talking about Visual Basic took it to 100%. We should have Kathleen on and we should talk more about we should talk more about the what's it called? You know, the thing. Visual Basic. Do I need a page model to go with this? I want it to happen inside of Razor components. Can we do 101%? No. It's the fun thing with the stuff. You know, the fun thing with the stuff that happens that time?
Totes my goats.
It does. It's totally fun. And you get coins for it. Quick. It's seriously, this is what it sounds like when JavaScript people discover Visual Basic features. It's amazing! We need that in JavaScript! Case insensitivity, that would be so cool in JavaScript. Strong typing, let's do that too. It's called TypeScript. No, we need it in JavaScript. No, really, you can do it in TypeScript. I want a compiler too. Let's build something and we'll call it Webpack. It's not really compiling. It does the same thing a compiler does. No, it's packing. Okay. Babel, yes. It'll translate from one language to the next. That's compiling. The denial is strong in the JavaScript community. Let's reinvent everything so it works in the browser and different. Here we come, and we're bringing WebAssembly with us. Deal with it. I'm not bitter. Am I bitter? I don't mind poking fun at other developer communities, and I love the JavaScript community. They do some they do some interesting things, and they are doing a lot of reinventing the wheel in denial that they are. They're trekking closer and closer to things that have already been existing and out there for folks that are Java and .NET developers for a long, long time. Oh my gosh, I love this editor that has IntelliSense. I didn't know I needed type ahead. My gosh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's been around for 20 years, and you're just now discovering it. Hello? Yeah, right? It's funny how things come around again with a new name. I know, right? Yeah. Oh, and Medium is like a cesspool of, look at this new thing that I invented. We've had it in Visual Studio for 15 years. I love being able to debug. Yeah, we know. We tried to get you into that 20 years ago with something called J#. Not J#, with Visual Studio InterDev. Yeah, with Visual InterDev. It wasn't a great product, but we tried to do it. But Google makes it now. No, they don't. They don't make Visual Studio Code. I'm having fun getting way too close to my microphone. Okay. Visual Inter Notepad, right? Oh my gosh. Expertsexchange.com. Experts Exchange needs to go away. All right. Let me see. Did I get a message back from my thing here? I don't see anything yet. Let me know. All right, let's see this. There, that goes. All right. So the index page has, all right, so it's got an H4 for the title up at the top. Let's go back over to this. Use this space to summarize your privacy and cookie use policy. Learn more. I'm going to leave it there just because I think it's good and annoying. Right? Experts Exchange and its closedness. Yes. There's an interdev box in your parents' computer room. Oh. A messy language, more messy than PHP, need to be brilliant to do something productive. Yes. Remember when they had to get the hyphen because people kept making fun of the URL? Oh, man. Yes. Yes. Interdev was amazing. Really great application. If you could get it hooked up to debug your JavaScript, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was really, really nice. The problem, you know what, I'm going to copy all the way down to here. The problem that I had was really around maintaining that. And there were a number of things that it felt like were very mouse driven, and I was very keyboard focused developer at the time. I'm going to change this from profile to availability. The active page is not that. Hang on. Manage nav pages. I thought we had an availability. Oh, no, it was. Ugh. Okay. Real talk. Public static string. Why isn't this a constant? But I'm going to follow the pattern here. And I get it. We're removing some of the magic strings that are in here. I get it. Why not a constant there? Let's go back over to this. I should be able to just... There we go. Alright, so it knows what that is. So I have that. Now what I want to do... I want to kick off Razor interactions here. Public static string so that if things change later, you don't need to recompile dependencies. It tried a bit too much to be VB for the web, toolbox for controls, and the message generated. Well, I think you might... Hugo, you might be... Oh, it tried to be VB6, yes. And then... Oh, I said it.
And then?
Web forms happened, which brought along things like view state,
And then?
postback,
And then?
control libraries, which actually weren't that bad a thing. They were pretty good. That's still working. Okay. Oh, I wanted to go over here and grab... Not scaffold identity. There was... I had a page open that had adding Blazor to an existing application. Was it here under components? Integrate components into Razor pages and MVC apps. Await HTML component, render component async, counter new increment amount equals 10. While pages and views can use components, the converse isn't true. That's fine. To use logic from a partial view into component, I don't care about that. Using components. Here we go. Components can include other components by declaring them using HTML elements. Syntax. The markup for using a component looks like an HTML tag where the name of the tag is the component type. So here's what I'm wondering is, don't I need to at some point here add a Blazor server framework reference here? My 11 o'clock has not responded. I read why the static strings the other day, but your brain has forgot already. That's sad. You have a box containing about 25 OS2 Warp install disks. Impressive. Sound effects needed. We need some of those old school Mortal Kombat sound effects from the referee. Yeah. Finish him. Oh my gosh, that'd be great, TBD gamer. That would be a lot of fun to be able to drop some of those in here. And our friend Fierce Kittens did some video editing around fatality videos for her stream that she's doing tonight. Make sure you check out Fierce Kittens tonight. She's doing a competition, a sewing competition, with her friend Talk Custom. Both of them, they're if you enjoy checking out folks who do creative and other interesting things here on Twitch, you got to check out their stream tonight. It's a squad stream they're doing. They're both going to be making the same project and trolling each other along the way. It's going to be a ton of fun. Another excuse to buy another stream deck. We need lots more of those. Yes, Street Fighter audio. Oh my gosh. Yes. That would be fantastic. It would be so much fun. I think it's a great idea. All right, so I told it to include the component stuff. So can I just include a Razor component like this and put functions on it? Like, let's see if we can do this. Right, so to render a component from our page or view, use the render component async HTML helper method. Components can include other components. So once you're inside of a component, then you can reference another component like that. All right. I'm just going to do this, right? HTML render component async counter, and then I feel like I need to pass in a model to it, an initial model for it to work with. Know what I mean? Finish him. Is that a song? A Scandinavian song? I might be able to help with that. Hang on.
Finish him.
No, not the same. Not the same. Hey, Sweaty Omar, good to see you. Have you been working out? Long run? Is that why you're so sweaty? Long bike ride? Is it warm in your part of the world? I don't know. Why are we sweaty? What's going on there? Florida? I know humidity and the heat in Florida. It doesn't matter where I am in Florida. I'm always sweaty when I'm in Florida. Too many buttons. You want one, but $250. I agree. The new one, $250. When you think about it, it's more than double the size of the 15 button Stream Deck, and the 15 button is $130. So if you double it, it's $260 because you're getting twice as many buttons, but you're getting more than twice as many buttons. So getting it for $250, you're actually saving a little bit over having 2 Stream Decks. Not that I would know anything about having 2 Stream Decks, or 3, or 4. 20 kilometers! Holy crow, Sweaty Omar. More power to you there. That is tremendous. Wow. Points to you, sir. Well done, Omar. 20 kilometers, I don't think I could bike that far. I think Jeff would fall over in that time. All right, let's see if I can. I'm going to drop in a div ID, and I'll call it like div ID equals availability. I think that makes sense. And then it looked something like this. Await HTML render component async. All right, here we go. Await HTML dot render component async. Hey, look, there's a thing. And can I just say availability? Even though I don't have it. Why? That's better. All right. I feel like I need to pass in the user ID for this, because it doesn't know who the user is when we get a little bit further along there. Right? The components don't know user. So let's do this. And we'll pass in user ID as a parameter, but we'll need to actually get the user ID. Oh, crap. Can I just do user dot ID? Does it know what that is? Does it know what that is? So that's the end of... Wait. That's the end... No, wait. That's the end of that. Okay. That's the end of the parens. That's the end of that. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm confusing the snot out of Visual Studio Code here, aren't I? Finlandia him. You struggle to do 20 yards, says Copper Beardy. Yeah, you know, I think we all gotta take some time and think about and work on a little bit of fitness at some point here. So I'm going to go down into the components area here. I'm going to create a new file. And I'm going to call this availability.razor. And what does the Razor components have at the top of these things? Component parameters. At page. And then we have the at functions down there further. All right. So if we say at page... like that. Maybe. H5. This is the availability component. Let's see if we can get that to appear. Right? I mean, maybe. Okay. It didn't do anything, but it also didn't blow it up. Let's kill this. Let's restart it because I have a feeling that it's not actually doing anything with it. No, that's not what I wanted. Razor component targets. The item blah 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 availability.razor.js was specified more than once in the source's parameter. Duplicate items are not supported by the source's parameter. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Razor declarations components availability.razor.js. Alright, well it's here, but it's also there. So what if I rename this and put an underscore in front of it? You know? Can I do that? Right? Put that thing there, right? So then back in this chalupa, Chalupas. Put that there. Save that doodad. Rebuild the thing. See, it's not rebuilding. And you make me sad. User get user ID. Oh, I think you're right, Sinad Meskin. Duplicate items are not supported by the sources parameter. Huh? Components availability.razor.g.cs. Oh, this is a compile issue, isn't it? Ouch. All right, so if I see user ID, let me make sure I get this right. Sinad Meskin is pointing out I need to say user dot get user ID. Right, like that. Okay. I'm going to roll with that because I trust Sinad Meskin. Right? I want to make sure. There we go. Big woo for Sinad Meskin. Let's say here. Obviously, need to dedupe your sources parameter in the doohickey thingamajig. I am not myself, very technically speaking. That's how you can tell somebody that's been around the industry for a little bit. They know the lingo when they're talking about their thingamajig doohickey thingy.
What'd you do?
I don't know. Components star dot razor are the razor components it's including. Right? I thought that was the thing we needed to do. Let's scroll back up here. There. Razor component include. Underscore razor component include. Right? There it is. Wait a sec. Those are backslashes. Is it? Hopefully it found it. As long as the files are identified as razor component files. Maybe it automatically found it because I made it .razor? Could that be a thing? Wait a sec. Isn't there a thing to turn on shut up. Thank you. Right, to show your keystrokes. Terminal, keyboard, settings, editor. No. Right, I thought there was a thing to show. Is that Zen mode? No. No. There was a thing that shows what your hotkeys are. Why a class with an underscore? It's not a class. It's a oh yes, I do. I find it.
I drink and I know things.
Yes, so let me have a drink and maybe I'll start knowing things. But why the class with an underscore? So that you can't navigate to it. Let's see if that works. Building. I actually meant, I really want to use this sound effect for building. Not that one. That one. That's what compiling sounds like. Semicolon expected. Well, that's better. Resource management, web in the CS proj. No, availability CSHTML line 10. Availability CSHTML. This one. Wait. Yeah, I need to put it after that. Oh, wait. Oh, could it be? Could it be? Is it going to work? Transformer sounds. Yes. Yes. Right? Then it's building and it broke. Right? Typer namespace name underscore availability could not be found. That's okay. We know where it is. Claims principal does not contain a definition for get user ID and no accessible extension method. Get user ID accepting the first argument of type claims principal could be found. Okay. First things first. Typer namespace name underscore availability could not be found. Well, it's here. It's under components. So do I have to call it components dot. Spell it right. Whatever. And this chalupa, is it? Can I do that? And that's not a thing like that. I should not trust you. No, I am going. I trust my chat room implicitly because they're amazing folks. Typer namespace name components could not be found. Are you missing a using directive or assembly reference? Maybe. It's over here. Components. So is that being? What if I do this? Fritz resource management web components. See, that's a thing. And the other thing it's complaining about is saying claims principle does not contain a definition for user ID. Really? Claims principle properties. Claims principle class. System security claims. Good. I like seeing that. Properties. Here we go. Current identity gets the primary claims identity associated with the claims principle. All right. So if we go down into identity, is it going to give me a user ID? No. Fine. Implements identity. Fine. Authentication type is authenticated and name. Okay, so I'm over here on this, and you were suggesting get user ID. No, that's not there either. So, how do I get the user ID? Right, I mean, I'm in a claims principle. Microsoft ASP.NET Core Identity has a get user ID. If there is a user ID, you have to extract it from the claims. Hyo says, Hyorian. Welcome, Hyorian.
Wow.
It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. VS Code screencast mode. Is that what it's called? Toggle screencast mode. How do I know it's done anything? Hey, look at that. All right. Thanks for the tip there, Rambling Geek. Points to you, sir. Oh, yeah.
I love it when a plan comes together.
I do. I love it when a plan comes together. So do I say .identity get user ID? And the thing that kills me here is, right, so this is an identity. Yes. I'm on the .NET framework. Rats. I thought I was on .NET Core. Claims principle. Good catch. So we'll go over to .NET Core 3, Preview 5. Okay. See, I thought there was a user ID shortcut here that we could go to. Yeah, very good eye, Sinan Meskin. Right, if I do I don't want to go through the claims. I thought there was a shortcut method or property to get to these. Right? .NET Core user ID. See if how to get the user ID of a logged in user in .NET Core 2.0. User.identity claims first or default. Okay, that's a pain in the neck. I thought there was a get user manager get user ID. You make me sad. Assuming you're using ASP.NET identity, what about user.identity get user ID? All right. I like that better. That makes it a lot better. So identity. So we were close, Sanad Meskin. Get user ID. Let's see if that does the thing. .NET run. Go. Come on. Identity does not contain a definition for get user ID. I'm missing a using statement, I bet, that brings in that extension method. I'm willing to bet that's an extension method because everything's a stinking extension method. This is an extension method from Microsoft ASP.NET Core.
Oh my.
Thanks. Microsoft ASP.NET Identity Core. All right, so we got to throw a using statement at the top of this. At using Microsoft ASP.NET Core Identity. Let's see if that works. Right, was that it? Was that the thing? .identity.core. Is that a thing? Will that work? Slateboard asks, can Blazor be the starting point or should I have a prior web experience? Blazor could be a starting point, sure. See, that core thing doesn't exist. Having prior web experience will help you. Using director for ASP.NET Core Identity appears previously in the namespace right there. iIdentity doesn't contain that. And now you feel shame. You do. User manager get user async. And then it's user.id. Where was the one with the claims? I'll go through the stinking claims. First or default, C type equals ID claim type dot value. Oh dear lord. Dear lord. User manager get user ID. I think this feels like the cleanest is ASP.NET Identity Core. Namespace is still wrong? It's still wrong? Hang on. Microsoft ASP.NET Core ZGLRX. Microsoft ASP.NET Identity. I tried putting .core. That isn't there. It reported that wasn't a thing. Right? That doesn't exist either. It's ASP.NET Core. You're kidding me. Need a NuGet package? I'd rather inject the user manager at that point. Here. Right? Right, if I do @inject, what is it again? User manager application user, right? If I say user manager and it's my, right? My user. Oh my gosh, Jeff. And if I call that my user manager, right? Where'd that data go? Data. Migrations. My user. Yep. So user manager, my user. Watch it tell me that doesn't exist. Data.myuser. Then I can go here and say var user ID equals my user manager dot get user ID. Ha ha! Now I've got the user ID, right? Come out this way and change this to user ID. That feels better. I'm not going to say great, but it feels better. No. The type or namespace data cannot be found. What do you mean you can't find it? I think I already have a using statement that includes that, don't I? Okay. All right. All right. Okay. No iComponent pre-renderer implementation has been registered with the dependency injection container. This typically means a call to services add server-side Blazor is missing. Cool. All right. So we're finding all the stumbling points to get this configured. I'm okay with that error because it's actually quite nice showing me what I need to add. So I need to go back up here somewhere. So I added SignalR. Let's services add server. Okay, there's an add server-side Blazor thing I need to add. Okay. So let's .NET Watch run. Before I get into that, I'm going to go back over to the component here. I'm going to add a functions block. Let's add a parameter for the user ID. Oh, come on now. Right, this is a public int user ID with a get set. And isn't it functions? Yeah, there we go. That feels better. Let's see now if we can get it to run and pass that user ID in. If all else fails, .NET which run? Yeah, I agree, Stelzy. Kudos to the ASP.NET team for putting in some descriptive error messages that show you exactly what it's missing from configuration when it detects, hey, this isn't configured right. You're missing something. Here you go. Unable to cast object of type system string to system int32. That's not bad. Okay. I'm okay with that again. I'm still okay with that. Let's make this like this so it's nullable in case you don't have one yet. I'll come back over here. So get user ID. This should be an integer, right? Just to make sure we're not doing something stupid. Not that I've ever done anything stupid here on stream.
Wow.
Okay, maybe once or twice. My user ID, and let's put user ID right there. Right? Just to see what it is. That actually should just rerun, right? Or do I need to? Nope. So here's the thing with that .NET Watch, right? If I say run .NET Watch help, can't I tell it which files, which file mask? Project to watch suppresses all output except. List all discovered files without starting the watcher. This is required for some file shares. I don't think I can specify which files. Yeah. Because it's not restarting when the Razor files change. The ID is just another claim. Right. It is a string even if it's an integer? Rats. That should work. That's not what I expected to pop out for user ID. Hello!
Oh my.
Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it certainly is an ID. It's not the ID that I expected.
Inconceivable!
I know. All right. Okay. Not a problem. We can fix this. So user ID is always going to be a thing. So I do have a user ID. Let's make that a GUID so that it knows that it's a GUID, and we pass a GUID appropriately over there. Which means I can also say GUID.parse. And this will be a GUID, right? GUID is a globally unique identifier. And it's that 16-character hexadecimal mess that you see here. That's what a GUID looks like here in .NET and Microsoft technologies. How many unique users can we have with a GUID? Trillions. Trillions. Will it return default GUID if it's null? Well, you'll always have a GUID, actually. You need the generic version of identity user int. I'm okay with it. 36 character, is it 36? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it is 36. Right, it's 32 character. It's 16 bytes. Turns to 32 when it's hexadecimal for the bytes, and it's got, the 4 dashes. Yeah. Fritja, good to see you. All right, so I have that user ID being passed in. Good. So, but the person ID is an integer, and I'm okay with that. So, I think we're okay there then. So if I turn this back off, so that it does include this, so that should be passed through, and I should be able to say, my user ID is at user ID, and that should just work. And it's, come here, you. That's not going to just load and work. No. Come back over there, restart this, do the thing, reboot it, and away we go. Username is unique, and by default, the email is set to username on .NET Core identity. Yes, they're identical, which can be kind of confusing, but it works. No, that didn't do anything. Okay. So it didn't. Why didn't it render the component? Right, await render component async, which should have called into this and done that. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. I need that sound effect. Bill and Ted. And they're making a Bill and Ted 3. Did you see this? They're making a Bill and Ted 3. That's going to be awesome. Well, this is really interesting. It's not even trying. Remember what I was saying? I think we need the Blazor server-side framework JavaScript. I think that's what we're missing now. Right? You play air guitar? Yeah. At section scripts. Script source equals. No. Here. Somewhere in here, we need to. Yeah, and data binding. Great. Just great. It's great. Where is it? Show me what that script tag looks like in that host page. Come on. You know you want to. Nope. Is it down in here? Yeah, okay. Sure. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's put that chalupa in here. All right, tough guy. No, of course, because I need to re-render because it's compiling the CSHTML. I get extra points for the Vault Tech hat. Thank you. Yeah, if I were to play a little Fallout 76 here on stream, what would you think? Would you want to join in? Would you want to watch for a little bit? Is that something that would interest you? Let me know. Indexes are not working as it should because they are sorted alphabetically with a user and the ID that is registered a year ago and a user today. You'd watch? All right, thank you, C17. I thought about dropping in a little bit of... but it didn't do anything. Loading failed for the script. Well, wait a sec. Okay. I'm pointing to the wrong location. we need to go to the top, which means since I changed that, I got to restart and do the thing again. Welsh Ronaldo, without a doubt. You would watch, keep going back and forth if you want to bother with 76 after all the hoo-ha. So there's actually a bunch of updates that have come through. I haven't tried it yet. I would probably start a new character on stream. And I'd probably play first thing in the morning when everybody in Redmond is asleep. Bad request. Now wait a sec. No root element found, and it's going to a completely wrong location. Normalizing underscore Blazor 2. So it's relative pathing it, even though I gave it a absolute path. Can someone clip this real quick so we can create an issue for our friends on the ASP.NET team? Because if I'm referencing Blazor with an absolute path, it should also resolve with an absolute path as well. Yeah. I think we need to make that a thing. Didn't I have a meeting? Yeah, I sent text messages saying, all right, are we doing this or not? And they did not respond. It looks like they're canceling on me here. At least that's the email that I'm getting over here, the sense that I'm getting over here on my phone. Notice how I brought out the Philly there in my phone. Yeah, that's me. And the guy who lives down the street, that's Moik. So, doesn't need to have the leading tilde. If I put it there, let's say I put it there. Gotta start and restop. Gotta stop and restart. Yes. All right, here we go. Oh, thank you, Rambling Geek. Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm going to. How can I do this quickly and easily? Let's do this. Twitch.tv C# Fritz, and I believe if I go clips, it'll jump me right into the clips. Cool, it did. I don't want the top, I want the most recent. Not even trending. 24 hours. Adding Blazor. That's not it. Is that it? Is that what we just did? Yeah, I know I'm streaming live. Elegant, bovine, delicate. Nope, different. Rhyolite.
Rhyolite underscore just resubscribed for 3 months. Boom.
Boom indeed. Thank you very much, and we'll make a donation to Veterans Who Code. Look at all this. Clips of my channel. Created 2 minutes ago. Blazor Absolute Path there. This is the one I want. Let's tweet this. Yeah. It looks like you need to reference Blazor from the root of your application and not because it requires an absolute path. Is this right? At Dan Roth 27 at Sanderson. There we go. Okay. See if they say anything, they get back to us. Hey, look, there was a new tweet from me. Love the hype, thank you. Said it as my mouse was near the clip button. On Twitch, 3 months, sub 3 months. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Rhyolite. I really appreciate the sub. That's terrific. All right, let me go back over here. So I think the way around this then is going to be, I'm going to kind of force the issue then. Yeah, you know what? I'm not in the root folder. I'm not going to be able to change this. This is never going to work in this model because I'm not in the root folder. Let's go back over and see if there's something. Right, Blazor server-side apps are set up by default to pre-render the UI on the page server before the client connection to the server service. Dear Lord. In the host CSHTML Razor page. Right. Client reconnects to the server with the same state that was used to pre-render the app. Right. But I want to integrate a component into the Razor page here. For more information about how components are rendered and component state is managed in Blazor server-side apps, see the Blazor Hosting Models article. Don't mind if I do. Let's go over there. I've had that discussion with DBAs years ago. True, ints are faster, but they don't outweigh the business value in enterprise apps. Migration is a thing, and you can't ignore it. Yes. However, for the purposes of a user ID, the order that they are stored in the database, I don't care for. It doesn't change anything. There's no optimization that happens there. For products, for other things where the order and a clustered index does matter, I'm okay with using an int. Because that clustered index will actually help with the storage and retrieval. Because things that were created at the same time that need to be fetched together will naturally just be together. Yeah. Underscore framework Blazor server JS. Stateful reconnection after pre-rendering, but this needs to go up in the underscore host CSHTML Razor page. But that's not where I am. I'm trying to use this inside of. Here we go. Render stateful interactive components from Razor pages and views. Yes. HTML render component async, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. But don't I need the JavaScript so that it'll wire up all that stuff? Random opinion poll, 2 parts. Have you used Microsoft Power Apps? What do you think of Power Apps? I have used them. They're nice. They're powerful. I like how you can build something quickly and easily, small, and target something without a lot of programming knowledge. In your opinion, if you're allowing clustering on your primary key, you're probably not really optimizing well anyways, in the case of auto-generated random primary key. If you're clustering on your primary key because it makes sense, like you're creating customer information, you're creating address information, well, those are kind of going to be clustered together and be near each other in the database. You're going to want them near each other on the database pages, table pages. So there's something wonderful there that you just get by default. But when you do get up into larger databases where integers aren't going to be as effective, and yeah, right, you start scaling out of control, right? If you're the size of Amazon, you can't be doing integers for any keys. You got to be GUIDs because you're replicating all over the place. Ultramark asks, what do you think of low-code, no-code in general? I think it's magnificent, Ultramark. There are millions of open developer jobs out there in the United States. Last time I saw a survey on this, there's about 3 million open developer jobs. If we can simplify the needs for developers so that non-technical folks can understand what's going on and help build and fill some of those needs by building some Excel macros easily and quickly, building with Power Apps so they can do that one or two little things quickly, put together a logic app that just connects the dots so that when a certain thing happens, it sends a Twilio text message. Tremendous. That's a great opportunity for folks to solve a problem in an effective way. There are millions of businesses out there that run their entire inventory and their entire operation on just Excel spreadsheets or Google Sheets, whatever spreadsheet technology you may prefer. That's great, but then when they need to scale up and they need to bring in developers, I like having that step up process that can happen. So I think the low-code, no-code solutions are tremendous, and the more that we as professional developers can do to enable those non-developers, those non-technical folks, to build and solve those problems, the better things are, right? I look at things like IFTTT, if this, then that. Be able to build something that says, when a tweet comes out that has a picture on it, save that picture into my OneDrive. That's great. That's simple. That's a line of code that somebody wrote without actually writing code. They dragged and dropped a couple things together, and it's actually a pretty complex process that they wrote with just a macro configured on ifttt.com. Cool, right? But they've affected a business process. That's great. And I think that there's a place for using all of those features side by side as they scale up and they take advantage of some of the services that we as professional developers make accessible to them. Let me look here. It almost feels like it's good to be true for low-code, no-code solution to create homespun tools apps for things that you don't need to go nuts on. Yeah, I agree. Make code is a tremendous capability out there. Hey, Nick Larson, happy Friday. It's so good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Big woo for Nick Larson, another one of our live coders. Check out the entire live coders team. 50 streamers just like me. Click the link down below here for the live coders team. We do all kinds of different technologies, not just .NET and the web. There's folks that do Unity game development like Lana Lux. There's folks that do Xamarin like our friend James Montemagno or Clancy. Is that Madrix? Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. But check it out, Robertables as well. Happy Friday. Robertables is out at an AWS event. Yalda, it's, what kind of, I'll just stop at Yalda. Gosh, I'm not sure how to pronounce the end of that. What kind of Blazor app? This is server-side hosted, but we're trying to trigger and do interactions with this model from within a Razor page. We want to render a component asynchronously, but it's not wiring up the interaction with, configure the signal. Oh, here we go. Source _framework Blazor and auto start equals false. Do I need that? Is that what I need? To configure the SignalR client in the pages host CSHTML file. I don't have one of those. Do I need to? All right, let's. I don't know what that is. Let's put one together. New file. _ultramark.
Thanks for the balanced answers.
Fair and balanced. That's what you'll get here from. Thank you so much, Ultramark. That's 100 bits. We'll make a donation to Veterans Who Code. This needs an app page at the top of it, and we need this. Let's see if that does a thing. Thanks so much. And I'm going to, not over here. I'm going to go back into my availability. I'll put it over in, I need to figure out exactly where to put that. Tell you what, I'll put it over here in this. And that was a cheer from Ultra Mark. Today is the 31st, 2019, and it was, how many bits? 100 bits. Thank you so much. And we're still doing our Bits for Bytes drive. Tuesday, look at that, Tuesday. Our friend I Am Not Myself is going to join us, and we're going to do a little bit of authentication configuration for that distributed chatbot we were working on. And we're going to show off how to use Auth0 with that. That'll be on Tuesday. We're going to schedule some time with Michael Jolly and Robert Tables here in the next month to come on, and we're going to do some neat things with, probably with containers. I'm not sure what we'll do with Michael Jolly, But we've been talking about a couple different topics that we'll pair program together. Whoever leads at the end of the month on that cheer board, you can see it right at the top of the chat room. We'll invite them on to pair program with me here on stream. Do people pronounce that as Auth0? I do, Shrimp Associate. Shout out for Robertables himself. He says, I spread the word to so many people about live coding streams. Fantastic. Yes, there is much more to Twitch than just gaming. There's goofing around and writing code together here. It's not goofing around. We do serious business here. Serious. It's very serious. Let's see if that actually did anything. I mean, okay, I'm not referencing that _host directly here. Rambling Geek says his stream is all goofing around.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Maybe it does. Let's see. Oh my indeed. Come on, do it. All right. So go back over to this page, reload, and see, it's not referencing the _host. How does it know to reference the _host and include that? Let's go back over to this. Sometimes you need to configure the Blazor, the SignalR client. What do you mean sometimes? All the times. You might want to configure logging on the SignalR client to diagnose a connection issue. To configure the SignalR client in the pages host CSHTML. Well, how do I configure it to use? Right? Using Microsoft ASP.NET Core Components Services. No. Let's see. We're missing something here. Right, so the following Razor page renders a counter component with an initial count that's specified. So what I'm struggling with here is how do I add the server side capabilities of Blazor to an existing application? Oh, look at this. And this was written literally last week. Earlier this week. Tuesday this week. Tuesday? Monday? Tuesday. One of them. Restricts the app to capabilities of the browser. Components reconnect. So, Blazor server-side apps. This is set up in the host CSHTML Razor page. Right. How do I reference that? How does it know to use that? Host is like view imports if you add your app to it. Check the console. Well, the console shows that it's not actually doing anything. It didn't actually call out to it. I think we need to cheat here a little bit. Let's do this. .NET new. And let's create a new Blazor app and see what's in there. Maybe we can figure out what we need to lift and shift. Blazor server side. So let's say .NET new Blazor server side. And let's just put that into let's create it. Let's call it test Blazor. What? Oh, .NET net. It's .NET new. Many articles are refreshed. Yeah, still half the things. Well, it is preview, right? They are still building things. So let's go back over to Visual Studio Code. Close this up. Let's scroll down. Let's take a look at test Blazor there. So this, under pages, there's host, right? And it's got references to tag helpers and things. There's the app tag framework Blazor server JS. But I want to like see this is and look, base href equals up at the top, right? I want this to be like my identity host for just when I'm in that identity page for availability. The rest of it I want to behave if I add my app to it. Right, I also don't have the router configured, right? So, right, imports, this is the view imports. Right, the imports over here, layout, main layout. Yeah, fine. There's a router in here somewhere too. Right, there it is under app Razor. The router component displays whichever component has a page directive matching the current URI. Well, I don't actually want to do that. Right? Reference your identity to it. I don't know what you mean, reference my base, my identity to it. What does that mean? Main layout and the nav. See, I don't... underscore host is defined, I believe, only in one place. Right there. Don't you need the app Razor component that routes to your other Razor components like a program main kind of deal? So you're referring to the app over here. See, and that's where I'm struggling here is I don't want to put the entire application in there. Right? I'm trying to do this model. I'm specifying exactly the component I want. Stateful interactive components can be added to a Razor page or view. When the page or view renders, the component is pre-rendered. The app then reconnects to the component state once the client connection is established, as long as the state is still in memory. For example, the following Razor page renders a counter component. See, I'm not telling it run the app, and because you navigated to a certain page, put that component in there. I'm saying I want this component, and I want to interact with that component. And I'm not navigating around. My navigation, I want to happen around and on my normal pages. Got Virtualized, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. So this is where I'm on a different page. I'm not somewhere else. Wait a tick. Something I noticed over here. What if we put that in and we still put this chalupa down at the bottom? What if we did that? You know what I mean? Right, layout. Right, because there's render section scripts down there that we can put scripts into, and that's what we want to render down at the bottom. But I think I also want to add up at the top here. Right, if I did render section before head, let's call it. And is it required? No, not required. Right? So then I could come back over here. So first off, I need section scripts. And where we were doing... Sure. That's fine. Copy that. Put that in here. And if we do section before head... And, right, it was, no, not there. Main layout. No. Index. No. App. No. Imports. No. Host. Ah, there it is. That base href. All right. Oh, do. You make me sad. You're not going to paste. if we do that, then it should be in the thing. Fritz resource. Right? And now if I .NET run, I should get it. Router thingy seems to reference to a C# class. Yeah. I don't want the router thingy. I don't need the router thingy. Router thingies are, at least not for this part. We might use router thingy later. Yeah. Refresh. Come on. Come on.
You can do it!
No. The following sections have been defined but have not been rendered by the page. To ignore and call ignore section. But I told it you could ignore it. Render section required. False. It must not be rendered. False. Same thing that's down here in scripts. Don't trust me? What? You're killing me here, Smalls. Come on now. Come on now. No. Why? It's the exact same thing as scripts down here. The exact same thing. At render section. What am I missing here, chat room? That's messed up right there. There's a bug. What bug? Oh, they have been defined but have not been rendered. Okay, hang on. Before head. At section before head. Oh wait, account manage layout underscore CSHTML. All right, hang on. I'm looking. There is no underscore layout here. It's hidden. I think we just found it. I am reading it backwards. Good catch there is that can horn. Thank you very, very much. Very good catch. So we're going to need to, let's see if we can step back and find that where we were generating. Yeah, let me get the list of files from the ASP.NET Code generator. And let's see if we can put the layout down in the page, and then we can, I said it. And then we can update it with the before head section so that we can add the thing. Yeah, I know. I'm working on this. I wanted you to list the files. I wanted you to list the files. Gotta go. Have a good one. Great to see you, Agent Coder. Thanks so much for joining us. Yep, it's afternoon. Let me see what I can do here. Yeah, list files. -LF. Show me the files. Show me the files. Show me the files. Use this option to generate a new layout CSHTML. Okay, let's do that. I like that. Let's do that. -GL. Give me a new one of those things. So we can update the thing. Come on. Okay, it really doesn't like in index CSHTML CS. Manage index CSHTML. Here. Yeah, I don't want you writing that. Why are you doing that? I didn't tell you to do that. You shouldn't be doing that. Bad. No build. Let's say no build. Let's see if that does it. Show that vault. Show the vault with that tech. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, behave, Blazor.
Yes. Behave, Blazor. No, it's not doing. It's still building. It's still building, even though I told it no build. You stink. I don't like it. You make me sad. I'm kind of toast here. But I know where to pick up next time. It is afternoon. I do have some meetings to get to, so let's wind it down here. Check in what we've got so we can pick up next time. I'm going to delete that test Blazor project. There we go. Gone. And let's commit everything else. I'm going to go up just a couple here. Let's add everything. Let's commit. Adding Blazor to our project. I think we're almost there. It feels like we're just about to get it running with the server-side interactions. There we go. Everything's checked in. I'll push that out to my branch. You can find the GitHub project in the GitHub panel just below. You can click through and see more about that. Working on getting your voice back. Oh, we'll have Carrie here. Glad you can catch at least part of the stream. Thanks so much, Robert Tables. Yes, travel does put a dent in your routine. Have a good weekend, Robert. Great to see you. Even though his name isn't really Robert, but it's funny that way when you call him Robert. All right, let's set up for a fantastic raid. Who are we gonna raid today? Let's find out. Let's find out while I change back over to Windows mode here. Let's see what's going on with the live coders team and who we can raid. Have a good one. You know what? Nick was here just a little bit ago. I think we can raid Nick Larson, who's talking about artificial intelligence. Oh, that would be fun. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's set up that raid call. Chat room, copy that first line of text if you're a subscriber. If you're not, that's okay. Grab the second line of text, copy it onto your clipboard. We're gonna go over, we're gonna raid our friend Nick Larson. Right. And, that's the wrong Nick Larson. That's the wrong Nick Larson. Let me make sure I spell his name right. I think it's right. Is that it? Do I have the right? Nope, that's not the right Nick Larson either. Where is it? Oh, it's Nick _ Thank you. Nick _ Larson. Fantastic. All right. Friends, you copied over the text. Let's get ready to head over. Say hi to Nick. Naming things is hard. I know, right? Here we go. Have a good one, everybody. I'll see you back here on Sunday morning. You know what? We're going to take a shot at some of the features in our Stream Tools project at that point, add in some abilities so that you in the chat room can trigger some of my sound effects. And we'll have a good time with that on Sunday. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good Friday. This video, like all my other videos, will be available on YouTube in the archive over there. Take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.